spending like no other.
What is going on, guys? My name is Chuck Butler, and you are tuning into StockTalk Sunday, where we break down the upcoming stocks that I may or may not take a position in during the next week. So let's go ahead and get into it. As you can see on the focus list up here, we have ticker symbol ABEO, BBY, EDIT, FOLD, and GDS. And then down here on the ETF watch list, we have the good old DRIP, JNUG, DGAS, GUSH, UGAS, and JDST. So let's go ahead and get into it. The first ticker up, ticker symbol ABEO. As you can see, my plan is right here. I plan from 16 to 18. Offers, let me move this, I can't see it. Because my little recording button is in the way. Let me move it. Okay. From 16 to 18 offers about 12.2%. I plan to enter this at 1580 and exit at 1650 with a stop loss at 1560 and a margin to cover. And that margin from 1580 to 1650 covers about 4.43%. Now, as you can see, the breakdown I have here, I have overall resistance at 22. I have overall support at 14, even though it can go lower than that. Like there's also support at 13, but right now I don't think that is relevant. So I'm just focusing on the recent support. And as you can see, it's about to crack above the 180-day SMA line, and that is a good thing that we want to happen, is because it is a good confirmation that the stock or the certain security will continue to trend up. As you can see, I have my alerts set. Here, let me zoom in and see where my alerts are set at. Zoom in a bit more. Okay, I have an alert set at 1570, and I have an alert set at 1580. As you can see, for the past couple of days, it was hitting a resistance at 1560. So as soon as it can break that, I believe that it can continue to trend upwards. But if it cannot break this 1560, then I believe that it will start to continue downward. And if that happens, then I will no longer consider this as a viable option for me to trade, unless I was shorting. But moving on, go back to the 4 hour. And the only reason I say from 1560 to 1650 is because obviously you see the margin itself from 16 to the resistance at 18 offers 12.2%. Well, if I scroll all the way over here, as you can see, sometimes it has performance issues when it breaks above 16, and it can only sustain the level from 16 to 1650, as you can see right here. Actually, this is 1630, but let me go to a bit more relevant data. As you can see, do you see this right here? 1650. Look, 16, 1650. 16, 1650. 16, 1650. 16, 1650. 16, 1650. 16, 1650. 16, 1650. As you can see, it's having trouble breaking that 1650 mark. So what I plan to do is go ahead and buy in at the possible break of 1560 and sell at 15. My bad. I keep saying 1650 when I mean 1560. I plan to get in on the break above 1560, and then I speculate that if it can break this resistance at 1560, it can break the resistance at 16, which will then is a good confirmation for the uptrend. So that means it's going to continue to highs of the next resistance at 1650, and it could break 1650, but it could also not. Either way, I will be taking my profits at 1650, even though from 1650 to 18 it still has about 9.54% margin to cover. Okay, and with that one, let's go. This is ticker symbol BBY. This is Best Buy. Here, let me move this out the way so you can see better. These were my text notes from last week when I traded in one contract for ticker symbol BBY, Best Buy. As you can see, it's already above the 180-day SMA. It broke the resistance that I predicted that I drew at 78. As you can see, it also broke the resistance at 79. So what I expected to do this week is break above the resistance at 80 and possibly make it to highs of 84 once again. So let's go ahead and on the MACD and RSI looking. The MACD is signaling a buy on the 4-hour, and the RSI is looking pretty good. So as you can see, my plan is right here. From 80 to 84 offers about 5% margin. I would like my entry to be at 80.20, my exit to be at 82.70, and my stop loss to be at 79.95, with a total margin to cover of 3%. So yeah, simple as that. So let's go ahead, go to the next ticker symbol. This is ticker symbol EDIT. I have had this on my watch list for about 2 weeks now. It hasn't been performing the best, but as you can see, last week it actually broke a resistance right here at 32, and then is now showing signs of upward trend. But as you can see, the SMA is pointing downwards towards this other resistance line I have drawn here at 34. So not only is the SMA line pointing down towards the resistance line of 34, but 34 is also a resistance line, a previous resistance line. So what I'm seeing is that if it can't push above 34 right here, it can. There's a high probability right now that it will get rejected, and it will continue to trend down, and it may bounce off of one of these EMAs, or it may just continue back down to its support at $30. But if it can break 34, here's how I would like to trade it from 34 to the next resistance at 36.50, 34, 36.50 up here. Yeah, 36.50. It offers a total percent of margin of 7.35%. I would like to enter at 34 and exit at 35.02 for a stop loss of 33.80. Yeah, let me move up. Should be about 3%. Yep. For the margin I would like to cover is 3%, but that's only if it can break this 34. It needs to break this 34 because there are signs and indicators that are showing that it's gonna get rejected. So I'm gonna see what that happens during the week. Oh yeah, and on a side note, it is Labor Day Monday, so the market for the US will be closed. I'm not sure about the other markets around the world, but I just know that the US markets will be closed. Now let's move over to ticker symbol FOLD. As you can see, very beautiful horizontal pattern. I love this one a lot. Here, my plan is right here. I don't know why they're up like that today. That's weird. As you can see, I have an overall support. Oh, wait, actually, let me go back to edit. I'm sorry about that. I have an overall support drawn at 30. As you can see, my blue support line right here. I have resistance drawn at 36, at 34, 36.50, 40, 42, and an overall resistance at 45. I'm sorry, I forgot to break that one down for you guys. My bad. Or go over the breakdown. I already broke it down myself, but you know, going over it with you in case you didn't understand. This is ticker symbol FOLD. Overall resistance at 17. Overall support at 13. As you can see, my blue line right here is indicating a support line. As you can see, it also has resistance at 15, 16, and yeah, that should be it. And then there's some minor resistance points along the way, but for now, here's my plan. From 14 to 15 offers a total of 7% margin for profit. I would like to enter at 13.90 and exit at 14.75. With a stop loss at 13.80, and that margin that it has to cover from 13.90 to 14.75 is 6.12%, which is pretty good if you ask me. And the reason that I'm getting in before confirmation is because as you let me scroll over to the 1 minute chart. it has a resistance right here at 1380. So I'm predicting that it's going to bounce off of the EMA right here on the 55-day EMA on the 1-hour chart, or it can bounce off of the 25-day EMA on the 4-hour chart, and it can continue to trend up. But as you can see, I have my alert set right here for 1380 because it has hit that about 2 times, and the 55-day day SMA. No, this is the EMA. The 55-day EMA, as you can see, is indicating 1382 as a resistance, as you can see right here. For the purple line, and the blue line is hitting behind the actual price that it's at right now, right? 1345. That's where the SMA is at. That's where the 25-day EMA is at, and 1382 is where the purple SMA line is at, and SMA line is at. And right now, the 55-day EMA is acting as a resistance. So what we want to see is a break above that for continuation of the uptrend. But if it can't break that, then we're gonna have to throw it away. So that's it for that. Let's move on to the last ticker symbol here. As you can see, this ticker symbol GDS, it is on an ascending uptrend pattern. As you can see, it's making higher highs and higher highs and higher lows, and it is bouncing off of the trend line that I drew and validating it as support. As you can see from here, bounce, uptrend, bounce, uptrend, bounce right here, uptrend, bounce right here, and uptrend, and then another bounce right here. So it's going to be an uptrend, and right now it's forming a pennant because, as you can see, I have resistance drawn at 30. Well, now support. Resistance drawn at 35 and resistance at 40. It's coming up on that 40 pretty quick. So what I'm so on a pennant is what. Oh, let me drink some water. I'm pretty thirsty. What the heck? Okay. Okay, that's better. Okay, so on this this pattern that we're seeing right now, this triangular ascending uptrend pattern, as you can see, it is nearing a choke point right here. Here, let me draw you a little box, a little choke point right here. And at the end of this pattern, what it's going to do is it's either going to shoot up or it's either going to shoot down. But what I expect it to do is to shoot up because it's on an ascending uptrend pattern. So let's move back out. As you can see, I plan to, from 40 to 45, offers a total of 12.5%. As you can see right here, resistance at 45, support at 40. Yeah, resistance at 40 and resistance at 45. I plan to enter this early at 39 and exit at 42.50. Stop loss 38.85, and the total margin that has to cover from 39 to 42.5 is about 8.9%. And you're probably wondering, why am I getting in early? Why not just wait to see if it's going to break this 40 or not? Well, I feel comfortable with this pattern and I understand it, so I will get in on an early before it decides to complete the actual pattern. I will get in because I do believe that it will do what it's supposed to do, which is break the choke point that I have drawn right here on this white circle. So yeah. So and let's break down the futures right now for gold, oil, and natural gas. As you can see, let's go on the 4-hour chart. Natural gas, as you can see, last week it started to trend. It had a sell-off, but it started to trend up. But then it hit this resistance one more time. The MACD starting to curl, the RSI starting to curl. What I'm expecting natural gas to do is continue to trend down and possibly break this support and continue to trend down, which would be good for DGAS, which means that we can see an uptrend with DGAS, and then we will see a downtrend with UGAS, because as you can see, UGAS is near a good support right now, and DGAS is near support right here at 21, and UGAS is near resistance at 66. So yeah. And then for gold, /GC, as you can see, gold has been on a disgusting downward downward pattern for a while. As you can see, it's respecting this SMA as resistance right here, and more recently right here and right here. So what I'm expecting gold to do is gold right now has a support here. Let me draw another blue line. Gold has a support not only at 1204, but it also has a support at 1200. What I'm expecting it to do is break that 1200 and continue to trend down. And if it breaks down, then what we can see is a uptrend in JDST and a downtrend in its inverse JNUC for it to continue to trend down to its previous support at 730. So JDST is going to be my JDST DGAS for gold. JDST is going to be on my radar. For gas, DGAS is going to be on my radar. And let's break down one more. This commodity is going to be oil. Ticker symbol SPSIOP. As you can see, it is at a resistance right now, but it could also bounce and continue to trend up. So oil, and let's look at the other feature for it. So you can see oil is near resistance. You see at a resistance line, but it could act as support and continue to trend up. So oil is going to be on a watch. So yeah, that's going to be it for this Stock Talk Sunday. Make sure you do your own diligence before considering taking a position in the trades that I have discussed today. And just have a profitable week. Make sure that you don't do like me and you follow your plans. Whatever plan you have drawn out, make sure you stick to it and make sure you have patience with it as well. And if you don't make a trade this week, that's not a bad thing. Don't be anxious, because if you will, you're gonna get all in your emotions, and then you're just gonna trade poorly. You're just gonna keep losing. So try not to do that, and make sure that you break down your own stocks too if you find any value in any more stocks, and make sure to like and subscribe only if you found value in what I have showed you today. I don't want people just randomly liking and subscribing and them not learning anything, because I'm trying to help people. I'm not here for entertainment, even though I do like to entertain. But that's for different segments that I have planned for the future. So yeah, that's gonna be it. You guys have a nice day. Let's get this money.
Gotta spend it like no other.